Hey everyone, thank you again for joining us for another episode of the Liverpool Connection podcast. It's Pubchat. We're here at our favorite Irish pub here in Austin, Texas, BD Riley's. It was a cold day, John.
It was a bit nippy out there.
A bit nippy. We still have our toques on because we're still trying to thaw out. But 4-1 victory over Brentford. Never easy to get those early kickoffs, down in London, but we went through. But there's a lot of talking points in this game, so let's just get into it. Let's talk about the lineup. Really, what we said on our preview show, pretty much what it was, right? I mean, with Bradley coming in, I know there was a question about Gomez was starting on, but besides Bradley instead of Gomez, the rest of the lineup pretty much set itself.
Yeah, totally. Strong lineup. Pretty much what we thought. Obviously, Allison, last man scratch there, but. Getting a good lineup. Nunes looked on it right from the beginning. But yeah, no complaints about the lineup.
Speaking of Allison, I don't know if I've ever heard of a keeper pulling their hamstring, but we said this before. We have the best backup keeper in the league, and Keller, comes in, does the business. He made some great saves today, and we're lucky to have him as our backup. Adrian was on the bench. And he's getting worried because he might have to play soon.
I kind of hope not, but Keller came in and, like I said, he had a pretty good match the last game. And then, good saves today. The only thing is his kicking's not quite where Allison's is, but I think he's building in confidence right now. He had maybe the first 2 games in the season that he had weren't the greatest, but I think he's growing in it. He's looking good now.
Once again, I don't think we started off with the races. We kind of they had some chances at the very beginning of the match that were kind of wide open. I thought Konate was off the pace at the very beginning. Bradley seemed like he was pushed up higher than when he was playing before, and so it left a lot of that space behind him. Where when he was in the lineup before, you never really seen anybody get behind him. So it was different. I don't know if it was tactical or if it was just the fact that he hasn't played in a while. And then Konate, like I said, a couple paces off at the very beginning of the match.
Yeah, it was kind of even in terms of the chances, but the ones that we gave them were worrying. And like you said, I'm not sure exactly what it was. More so Bradley being high, but it certainly meant that Konate kept getting sucked over there. Once or twice when I thought he didn't necessarily need to, I was like, I'd just give them that outside, at this point, and then just stay in the middle. And it left Virgil and Robertson with a lot of guys to deal with. First maybe 20, that was happening quite a bit, and then it seemed like we settled a bit after that.
I think Van Dijk was also off the pace at the very beginning. He was kind of jogging back into positions. When I don't want to say that we play at the level. I'm just saying that when you're a center back and you're up the pitch, and then the ball gets behind you, you got to sprint back into your positions. You can't just jog and just assume that somebody else is going to take care of it. You have to get back. I thought Robbo coming back in. I thought he looked pretty good. He didn't look like he's rusty at all. I thought he was running up and down the line, offering the width, and he's pretty dynamic going up. So that was nice to see him back. It sucks for Gomez, who's played so well while Simicus and Robbo get hurt, and he's the one that is not starting.
A little bit, but also with Gomez, I feel like he's had a lot of minutes, probably. I don't know how it compares to, the other, I guess, with the other fullbacks being in and out all season, so I don't know. But it felt like he was, deserved a bit of a rest, and maybe he's thinking, I'm sure he'll get minutes against Luton. He'll probably get started. So I'm not too worried about it because I think he's just going to play lots of games. And we're going to kind of need him in reserve in case one of the centre backs gets injured.
One of the talking points that we had at the preview show was that knowing that Brentford, like set pieces, are a pretty tall and physical team, having Endo and McAllister play together in the center mid with Jones, who might have been a little short height-wise. But man, that allows Macca to play up higher. Endo, testament to him again, and I know that a lot of people still don't rate Endo, but I think we're more balanced when he's playing there at the 6. It allows McAllister to go up, and that showed later on in the game. But what do you think with that midfield 3? I thought played pretty well.
Yeah, it didn't feel like the chances that Brentford had early on were necessarily on them. Maybe when Kanate goes wide a couple of times, that we should have had somebody kind of anticipatedly covering back, but maybe that's harsh. I thought, generally speaking, as the game went on, those two looked really good. Jones looked good too. It's really unfortunate that Jones gets that injury, and hopefully it's not a bad one. Because, like I said, just feels a little bit like we need at least one of those guys with a bit more height. Although Granberg came in and actually did a pretty good job. I've been pretty critical about him, but brilliant play to set up that goal. He's really good at turning a guy. Sometimes positionally, you kind of like, he doesn't seem like he understands where to go in the team, but I thought he had a good second half today.
Yeah, I think everybody's been slaying Granberg, but he hasn't really been on form since earlier in the season when he burst up on the scene. But today I thought that was probably his best game that he's played in a long time.
Yeah.
And finally trying to use his physical presence where he's been pretty lightweight, to be honest with you, when there's been 50-50 challenges. But unfortunately, like you said, Jones got injured. Hopefully it's not a major injury that he can come back into the team. And we have Luton on Wednesday. I remember this time. We have Luton on Wednesday, and then we obviously the League Cup final on next Sunday. But Jones gets subbed off, and then almost right after that, that's Van Dijk clears the ball. Jota heads it. What a directional header by Williams to Nunez running through.
Yeah.
And what a cheeky finish. I mean, come on, that was something to just applaud.
Let's admit it. When that ball gets through to Nunez and you realise how much time he has, everybody's just a little bit worried. It's like, oh, what's he going to do here? And he had Jota with him, and you just love the fact that it just shows that he's just full of confidence right now. That chip was perfection, man. He clears the goalkeeper by a good yard. It's not just, just over his fingertips. Right in the middle, beautiful thing.
Yeah, because I was about to get mad at Jota because Jota was going off sides. I'm like, why are you going in front of Nunez?
Yeah.
Because normally, you think Nunez is going to just slide it over,
right,
and then Jota would be off sides, and then we'd all blame Nunez for not shooting. Right? But what a classy finish that was.
Beautiful. I love to see it, and it just feels like right now Nunez, from the first few minutes before he got that goal, it looked like he was doing nice things. It looked like he really felt confident. So, I mean, I don't know exactly why he went off at halftime. Let's hope it's a precautionary thing or something, but because it looks like he's flying right now.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I mean, we're a better team when Nunez is playing. So, hopefully, like you said, he came off at halftime for Gapco. Hopefully, it was just precautionary or a tactical switch, and there's nothing long term about that. But speaking of long term, we have to talk about the Jota injury. It didn't look good. Stretchered off. He's been such a key player for us while Salah's been out, and he's been hard done by injuries. We've missed when he's not playing. We're not as good a team, obviously. He's such a classy finisher, and he's been on such a good run of form. So it sucks to see that guy get injured.
It really does. He's probably the best finisher on the team. We could argue maybe if this is a really bad one, but at least we were lucky in the timing of his injuries because he came back in when Salah was out, and as soon as Salah's back, he's gone out. It sucks. It would be brilliant to have him, but we do have 4 excellent, guys ready. So fingers crossed, touching all the wood. If we keep those 4 fit, then we should still be good.
When you talk about Salah comes in and has to sub in the first half, which. We're saying like Klopp probably didn't even want to play him probably more than 20 minutes this game.
Right.
Has to bring him in, and anytime no warm up. Anytime we got the ball, we're just saying don't pull a hamstring, right? But he comes in, he changes the game, and it's great to come back and just contribute the way he did. He gets the assist, he gets his goal.
He did have the classic Salah one-on-one that he kind of made a mess of somehow, but it was good to see that at least he was in that position and stuff. And then the next time he makes no mistake, just created all kinds of chaos. We talked about Nunez and chaos. Well, Salah created lots of freaked out, and that goal that he scores when he's got a defender just twisting and turning him, the defender thinks he's gone back on him, and then that was just classic Salah. It's like you just cannot keep up with him. So that was brilliant to see. If you look back to his minutes.
Yeah, it's funny because on the breakaway he didn't show the pace that.
Right.
He didn't get it, and then the first touch was kind of bad, and then he just ends up.
His first touch was really good, but then his second took him way over to the right.
But on the goal, Gakpo wins that header, flicks it onto him.
Yeah, it was a good flip.
And then he takes the defender on. For some reason, that defender thinks he's going to go to his right foot. I don't know why you think Salah would ever go to his right foot in that situation. Gets beat. Salah shows his strength, puts it into the far post, and what a classic finish that was.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful to see because it feels like the defender's gotten back in position, but he's just so quick to shift the ball half a yard even just away from him to get and poke it around the keeper. It was a beautiful thing.
You know, we did some more subs, and we got Elliott back on the bench. Gomez gets to come on. You know, it's funny today, even kind of to talk about it, you know, Bradley played a lot of that hybrid role today.
Yeah.
Where previously he would just stay wide and offer the width and up the line. But I think I kind of mentioned this a couple of episodes ago. When Salah is there, that doesn't give Bradley the room to go up and down the line because that's where Salah just kind of stays wide, right? Mm-hmm. So it was interesting that Bradley then, because Salah's there, played a hybrid role. And so, I mean, it's unless you're really watching the game, it's kind of hard to pick that out. It was a tactical switch once Salah came in, then that's when Bradley started coming in because he wasn't doing that before that.
No. And Klopp has said, and the same with Jones the other day when he had to go to right back, he said, well, we want to keep it simple and not. But it's clear that, because he had Gomez doing it when he came in at left back with Robo and Pubchat, and it's clear that that's his preferences. Let's keep the structure the same. I don't care who's playing it. It's not all about doing it for trend. It's about the system and guys knowing where guys should be. So clearly, as long as they've got a few games and a few, practices under the belt, he's like, now you're going to do it just like everybody else does it. So, it's great because it shows them confidence in the player. There was a few times I think Bradley looked a little bit confused in that position. So, but it's his first time kind of going in there and doing that probably. So.
Yeah, it was weird because we were talking about like he'd get the ball in the middle and he had space in front and it seemed like he didn't know where he needed to be, right? Where he could go. And for defenders around him, like, okay, where should I go? I think it was just an interesting concept to have him play that hybrid instead of playing wide where he's been so successful, right? And so Elliott comes in, he adds pace or intensity to the game again. Gravenberch, like we said, that's probably his best game he's played in a long time. Gomez gets to come in, so we do have changes on the bench. We're getting thin though, Jonathan.
We are getting thin, but like you said, it feels like everybody that is available has had minutes and feels confident. So that's the good thing. Yes, we're getting thin. A lot is kind of riding on the likes of, for me, the likes of Jones and Soberslide getting fit. If not for the cup final, hopefully one of them, if not two, are available for the cup final. But then obviously the big game looming after that is City. So we've got Luton and Southampton right either side of the cup final, which we should be able to get through with the likes of Elliott, with the likes of, basically whoever we put in there. Not to take them lightly, but they're all, like I said, they've all got good minutes. They're all good quality. All the guys we have available, but it is getting a little bit of a worry, especially in the midfield. So I think.
Yeah, we drew with Luton last time, right? So gotta be careful about that. And they're another big physical team, but good to see Gakpo at the end. Lucho gives him that nice pass at the end. Oh, before we get to Gakpo's goal at the end, what a classy finish by McAllister, and that resulting from Endo winning that header, the defensive header over to Salah. Salah slides it over to McAllister. That first touch across the defender and toe posted in the far post, and that is because Endo is playing there. McAllister gets to shoot up the field.
Yeah. It was a couple of big mistakes by the defenders, but I think that's a little bit what you see when Salah comes in. Guys, they start crapping themselves a little bit, and then he's ready to pounce. And Lucho does brilliantly to just get it behind the defender, but give the best possible chance to Gakpo. And Gakpo again, he doesn't have the great pace, and maybe he's not so much of a pure 9, but if you give him space to get a shot off, he's deadly accurate, and he just made it look dead easy. I mean, keeper maybe could do better, but I don't know. I think Gakpo's body shape when he's ready to shoot, he disguises it really well where he's going to shoot. So it was nice for him to get a goal, because he's maybe the one that people are a little bit like, well, has he quite done as well as last year when he first came in? But he's quietly gotten goals when he needed, especially in the cups. So I guess he won in the league, but nice to see him getting it.
Yeah, and you know, obviously Klopp has also used him in the midfield, so
Right.
you're going to play a little deeper. You're not getting those chances up top that you normally would if you're playing the 9, right? So, but he's such a versatile player, and he kind of knows where the spaces are, and he has a good first touch. And
Yeah, very technical.
Yeah. But I just love the McAllister goal just because, you know, he gets to shoot up the field because he has
Beautiful
he has that
first
liberty
touch.
to do that, right?
Yeah, I mean that in that tight space, that first touch to get it over to create the space for the shot is just gorgeous. And we know that he can do that, and he's done a brilliant job at number 6. And I'm sure there'll be more games. Klopp will insist that he's a brilliant 6. And there'll be a game or two where Endo's maybe out due to yellows or something, and so he'll go back there and he'll do a great job. But it is nice to see those two and give McAllister that freedom.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many moving parts of this team, but because of the injuries, you know, Klopp has to really look at the lineup and look who's available and start making sure that the lineup is balanced. And I think that, you know, having the ability to have Gomez play left, right, center will add a lot to the team. I thought Diaz played well. I mean, he's still, sometimes his decision making is pretty off, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a fighter that you love the guy because he will battle for everything. I mean, that one where he created a chance by ball's almost out of play in the wing and he just heads it off the defender, plays it 1-2 off the defender. He's a scrapper. But yeah, sometimes he just maybe needs a little head up and play an early simple pass. But I love the guy, and he creates stuff all the time. I just thinking about the next few games, and I think really he's going to have to rotate a little on midfield. He's going to have to use a lot of subs in the Luton game. Maybe because you don't want to go into that game. Let's see, what minute did McAllister come off? How much did he play today? Because Endo played the 90, right? I think it's some sort of thing where somehow against Luton we need to not play McAllister and Endo for the majority of the game, or not necessarily both of them, so that we're not exhausted by the time we get Chelsea. That's my only thought.
Yeah, we need both of them for the rest of the Chelsea match. You know, it's unfortunate that we do have the midweek game prior to the League Cup, but that's just the way the Premier League is. You have to battle on all fronts, and we're going to go into the League Cup. You know, we want to get that trophy under our belt, but we also have an eye on the Premier League. We're 5 points up again, putting the pressure back on City to get a result against Chelsea today, and you know, a lot of games left. There'll be some drop points. You know, the City's not going to go undefeated. Arsenal's not going to go undefeated. We're not going to go undefeated the rest of the season. So every point matters at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it's going to be undefeated at all. Unfortunately, Arsenal are already up on Burnley, who Burnley kind of looked like a lost cause at this point. But City, Chelsea, you never know. They the last time was it 4-4? Yeah, I think there's a lot twisting towards
our stat department said it's 4-4 the last game.
Well done, stats. Stacked up. I mean, Chelsea are a hard one to predict right now, right? I mean, they can look good at moments, but they don't put many full games together. And so there's a chance that they could. Is it Stamford Bridge?
Stat guy.
Oh,
no.
Never mind. Never mind, Pubchat.
So anyway, put a wrap on this. 4-1, 3 points. So right now our focus is on the injuries and seeing what the reports are going to be by this afternoon or tomorrow. Just how extensive these injuries are. It doesn't look good for Jota. Hopefully Jones will be okay, and hopefully Nunez is okay because we need those guys. What?
Stacko's trading. Doesn't matter.
This that guy always wants to be a star, doesn't he?
Well, he scores bangers.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us. 3 points in the bag. So please like, subscribe, put on your notifications, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.